They said to me, your bladder, we'll have to remove your bladder the next time you come in because this can't go on. We can't give you treatment for it. I'm Jack, I'm 21, and I first started taking ketamine when I was 15. It was introduced to me just at a party. I wanted more of it, you know. I started taking it every day, and it became part of my routine very, very quickly. And it progressed, like the amounts progressed, and I thought it was great because obviously it gives you that pause mentally, and I was young, I thought it was acceptable, but very quickly I started to realise the effects that it had on me, both mentally and physically. Mentally, I'd forget stuff, I'd disassociate, I wasn't myself at all. I started to lose myself, my joy about life, became very depressed, very angry person. And then further along the line, physically, it started off with cramps, and then bladder pain, and then urinating blood, and being bedbound for weeks, and passing out from sweating, not being able to eat. It was scary, but ketamine sort of becomes the painkiller. It doesn't act as that fun drug anymore. It quickly becomes a vice in order to just live, because it's the only thing that takes away that pain, both mentally and physically. It became this sadistic, long cycle of taking it, getting pain, taking more just to ease the pain, and then having to take more because dependence builds up. And it was just a very bleak existence. That's the only thing I can say. My life was just upside down. I wasn't talking to my family. I was living in filth. Like, I didn't care about my hygiene. Ketamine was the only thing in my life. I was spending all my money on it, literally working just to fund it. And it was a very, very bleak existence. By the time I was 19, the hospital admissions had become every week. The dependency was there, and I could not live life at all. And then I had to do something about it. I had to. I knew that I needed somewhere, but I didn't want to accept that I did. I thought I was too young for recovery or a rehab or anything of the sort. Denial was very sick. And I feel like with ketamine, your body gives up way before your mind does, because of the pain. You say to yourself, I need to stop, but your mind isn't there yet. So it's very, very hard for people to actually come to terms with the fact that you need help from it. And I found myself in a treatment centre, and I'm so glad I did. I remember on the way to the treatment centre, I was giving myself 2 weeks to be there because I didn't think I had to be. But working through it and learning that there's the possibility of living life without having to use ketamine was very attractive to me. I put my all into it. I finished my treatment now, and I'm 10 months clean. And if I could say anything to anyone, is that recovery is possible no matter what age you're at, no matter how young you are, old you are, what drug you're on. It's really possible, and it's so much better than a sadistic cycle of being in pain and not being in pain, and losing your bladder or keeping your bladder. It's so much better than that. I can't stress that enough. And if I can do it, absolutely anyone can. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a really nice light. I can be a brother to my little brother today, a son to my mum, a friend to people, and it's so much better. I appreciate life today, and I actually have hope for my future. It's a really good feeling, because when you lose yourself so young to a drug addiction, you think that's it, that's me done now. I'll never amount to anything. There's a lot of shame that comes with it, but you can stop it, and you can live clean, and you can rebuild your future and your aspirations. It's very, very possible. Yeah, if I could say anything to anyone that's taking it or about to take it, is that get yourself to an NA meeting, talk to people, talk to others. And I know it's the hardest thing to do because you feel like they don't understand you, but there's people out there that very much do.